Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Alliance's webinar series. Today's webinar, woohoo, I've got a job interview, now what, features self-advocate Nathan Jerndt, a member of Livingston County Advocates in Action in Pontiac, Illinois. Today's date is March 21st, 2017. As a reminder, all attendees are in listen-only mode. If you need to communicate with us, use your control panel and type in your question, comment, or contribution. Another reminder, this presentation is being recorded and it will be sent out to all of our self-advocacy groups. If you are not a member of an Alliance self-advocacy group and you wish to receive a copy of the recording, let me, Christine Beck, know. And with that, we'll get started. So a little bit about the Alliance. We are a statewide team of self-advocacy groups in Illinois. We work together in your community to make life better and to work to make services better in our state. We want groups from around Illinois to speak together with one loud voice. We know that we can do more when we all work together. As we said, we are a statewide team of self-advocacy groups, and there are 25 member groups all around Illinois. So you don't have to go far to find a self-advocacy group near you. Up in the northern part of the state, we have groups in Zion and McHenry. If we go over towards Iowa, we have a group in Rock Island. Chicago is well represented with groups in Alsip, Brookfield, Chicago, Chicago Heights, Homewood, and Joliet. Right now, we are broadcasting live from Pontiac, Illinois. We also have member groups in LaSalle, Peru, Beardstown, and Jacksonville. We have groups in Bloomington and Decatur, Champaign, Monticello, and Charleston. And we also have groups a little bit more south in Alton and Edwardsville. So again, if you're not part of a member group, you don't have to go far to find one. And with that, let's get started by meeting the presenters. So Nathan, go ahead and introduce yourself.
I've worked at the Pontiac Wal-Mart for 16 wonderful years as a people feeder. I work Mondays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, and most Saturdays. Someone told me about the job, and I went and filled out an application. I had a job interview, and it was a little scary at first. I wanted to work at Walmart because I like meeting new people, and I know how to make them happy. I really enjoy my coworkers and customers. I've met people from all over the United States and the world, including Scotland, Ireland, and Australia.
Well, I haven't met people from all over the world, but I get to meet wonderful self-advocates, advisors, and allies all around Illinois. I'm Christine Beck. I'm the project director of the Alliance, and I'm happy to be with you today. So Nathan, would you like to read this quote out loud for us?
I'd be glad to. The best preparation for tomorrow is doing your best today.
Oh, awesome. Thanks so much. And again, the quote that Nathan read that you see on your screen is, the best preparation for tomorrow is doing your best today. So we're going to get right into it. Get your control panel ready. What does that quote mean to you? We want to hear your ideas. The best preparation for tomorrow is doing your best today. What does that mean to you? Maybe you talk amongst yourself. Go ahead and type in your response using the control panel and we'll read them out loud. I like this quote, don't you?
Yes, I do. I love it.
You know, I don't read it often enough, but maybe I'm going to start every day with reading that quote out loud to myself. What do you think?
Uh-huh.
All right. So Nathan and I are patiently waiting to hear what you have to say about this quote. What does it mean to you? And Nathan, will you go ahead and read that one again for us?
Sure. The best preparation for tomorrow is doing your best today.
Ooh, sometimes I have to hear things out loud, and I have to hear them a couple times so I can really fully understand them. And guess what? We've got some people telling us. All right. So I think you know Vicki, don't you?
My awesome mother.
All right. So Awesome Mom says, it means to me that being well prepared will make you more confident.
I have to agree with that. I totally agree with that.
Yeah, I have to agree with that too. Thanks, Awesome Mom. Be well prepared so that you can be confident. And with confidence comes competence. That means we're ready, willing, and able to do the job. And from change to independence altogether in Bloomington Normal, be prepared in advance and not put it off until tomorrow. Yeah, be prepared. Don't put things off. I think I might have to tell my kids that. What do you think? So, using that quote as our guide, if we have a job interview tomorrow, let's do our best today to prepare. How does that sound, Nathan?
I think it sounds awesome.
And if all the rest of you think that sounds awesome, let's give each other a big thumbs up. Oh, and I want to tell you that CTF Illinois Advocacy Center in Charleston, what that quote means to them is, do the things you do best. I like that. Do our best.
I like that. I like that too. Before the interview, dun, dun, dun. There are things that you can do before the interview, during the interview, and after the interview to help you prepare for success. Let's learn about things that you can do before the interview. First, let's learn about writing a resume. A resume is a one-page document that lists your work experience, education, and skills. How many of you have a resume? Even if you do have a resume, it is a good idea to update it every few months so that it's always ready to go when you get that interview. The first part of your resume is about your work history. How many of you are working now either in the community or at a workshop? Great. You will want to include that information and include dates of when you started. You will also want to include the type of jobs that you do at work. If you attended or graduated from high school or have gone to college, you will include that on your resume too.
I like those resume writing tips, Nathan, and we're going to hear a couple more in just a second, but want to go back to that great quote you read about doing your best tomorrow means preparing today. And this is what Livingston County Advocates in Action in Pontiac had to say. Do your best today is preparing yourself for the future. And maybe that's tomorrow, and maybe that's the day after tomorrow. But do your best today to prepare for your future. So I wanted to make sure we read that out loud for everybody.
Love it.
All right, let's hear about some more resume tips. Here we go. You don't want to put how old you are on your resume. It's against the law for the person interviewing you to ask how old you are, even if you're like me and you are a young 23. Right, Nathan?
Right.
You can also include hobbies, gifts, and talents on your resume if they can help you in the job you're applying for. So it goes like this. How many of you like to do crafts or scrapbook? If you are applying for a job at Michael's or Hobby Lobby or another craft store, you would want to include that on your resume. How many of you like to work on cars or fix things? Well, if you're applying for a job at a car repair shop, you'd want to include that on your resume. Here's another one. How many of you love being with animals and have volunteered at a local animal shelter? Well, if you're applying for a job at a pet store or in a veterinarian's office, you would want to include that experience on your resume. One note, don't include why you left your previous jobs on your resume. The person who is going to interview will probably ask you that question, but make sure that you are honest, as your prior employer may be called and asked why you left or if you're eligible for rehire. So like I mentioned, be honest. Nathan, why should you be honest on a resume?
Because you don't want people to think you're fake.
Yeah.
Or they think that you don't have what it takes.
All right. That's a great answers. So you'll want your resume to be only on the front of one page and to leave some space around the edges of the paper. You don't want to cram too much information in. Make sure you check for spelling mistakes or have somebody else check for you. When you print your resume, print it in black ink on white paper. Purple may be your very favorite color, but remember, you want the person who is interviewing you to have a resume they can easily read. You also want to have a copy that is nice and clean and ready to go at all times. You don't want to keep a crumpled up old resume with coffee stains and food stains in your pocket and then pull it out to present to your interviewer, would you?
No.
Yeah, that wouldn't be very professional. Let's learn some more. Here's a picture of a crumpled up resume. That's not how you would want to present it to the interviewer.
Let's review what should be on your resume. Your full name, not your nickname. You might go by the real Slim Shady, but that will not impress the person doing your interview. Your address and phone number. They will need to be able to get a hold of you if they want to ask you more questions or offer you the job. If you have an email address, you will want to include that too. Remember that your email address should be professional. Having an email address of I'm the best ever at gmail.com might not be okay for your friends and family, but it probably isn't going to impress the person doing the interview. Some people have a fun and personal email address and also a professional email address. If you have a job objective or a career goal, you may want to include it on your resume. As we talked about earlier, if you attended or graduated from high school or college, you will include that on your resume too. Remember to include employment or work history. If you are part of an agency or community or organization or do volunteer activities, you can include that. It shows leadership skills. How many of you do volunteer activities? Wonderful. You can include those as well. Again, if your hobbies, gifts, and talents relate to the type of job you are applying for, you can include them on your resume. Here is a sample of a resume.
So on this resume, it's for John Smith, and his name is very big up at the top, so it's easy for the interviewer to see. He has included his email address as well as his home address, and a phone number. He's included his experience. He's a production worker. He might work at one of the local workshops, and he's also had some previous employment as a different production worker. His skills include assembly, collating, labeling, and custodial. His education, he graduated from Maple High School. In terms of volunteering, he has co-taught a music class. He has worked at a pet shelter as a volunteer and a child care helper. And his hobbies and interests include swimming, computers, karaoke, and scrapbooking. So you've got your resume all done, and now it's time to think about preparing for the interview. Research the place where you want to work and find out a little bit more about it. You can do this by going to the place and looking around if that's possible. You can also use the computer or have somebody help you use the computer to look for information online. You can ask people who already work there what it's like. You'll also want to review the job description and make sure it's something that you can do and that you want to do. If the job will require you to be up on a roof, but you're afraid of heights, would you still apply? If the job would require you to work until midnight and transportation isn't available, would you apply for that? And if the job would require you to work every weekend and holiday, would you still apply? These are some things to think about. Another thing to do is prepare a 1 to 2 minute speech about yourself, sharing who you are and why you are the right person for the job. Here's another way to prepare, using standard interview questions. How many of you have a job club or a self-advocacy group that you go to? Now, I know many of you probably do. So check out these questions. They would be perfect to talk about and practice at your meetings. The first question is, tell me about yourself. The second, what are you really good at? You know, this gets into your gifts and talents, and we all have gifts and talents. Number 3, tell me about a time when you've learned from a mistake. Geez, I'd only have to pick one. I'd probably have to think about that. I make a lot of mistakes and I do a lot of learning. Number 4, what is the hardest thing you've ever done? Number 5, is there anything you'd like to get better at? Number 6, what is the most important thing you are looking for in a job? And I'll give you a hint. It's not making a lot of money. I mean, you might want to make a lot of money, but that's not what the interviewer is going to want to hear. Number 7, what are your career goals? Number 8, what motivates you? Number 9, why would you like to work for us? And number 10, why should I hire you? Now remember, these are kind of hard questions at first, but practice makes perfect. Absolutely.
So you are practicing your answers to the standard interview questions. Now it's time to think about what you'll wear to the interview. Do your research. You can go to the job location and see what others are wearing, or you can ask when you schedule your interview. Most of the time, wearing business casual is perfect for the interview. What does business casual mean?
All right, we're going to open it up to you, our awesome participants. What does business casual mean to you? What does business casual mean to you? So maybe you talk amongst yourselves, you type in using the control panel. Nathan and I will read your answers out loud. So most of the time to go to an interview, business casual is the way to go. Sometimes when we go to meetings or we are on committees in our agencies and organizations, we might need to dress in business casual. So what does that mean? Business casual. Nathan, I feel like maybe we should have had your keyboard here, and while people are trying to think and type in, you could have been playing a little tune. But business casual. Oh, guess what? Here we go. Here we go. And from change to independence altogether in Bloomington Normal, Nathan, what does it say business casual means to them?
Let's see here. Button-up shirts, nice slacks, nice shoes, not open-toed or tennis shoes.
Would we give that a thumbs up or a thumbs down?
Thumbs up.
That is 2 thumbs up for business casual. Again, button-up shirts, nice slacks, nice shoes, no open-toed or tennis shoes. Anybody else want to chime in on what business casual means to them? What business casual means to them? I liked those answers.
I did too.
You know, it's good to have your go-to outfit, your go-to business casual outfit. We'll just keep it open another couple of seconds for anybody to chime in before we continue on our woohoo, I've got a job interview, now what journey. All right, so let's continue on there, Nathan.
Alrighty then. Business casual means wearing clean tops or shirts, slacks or skirts. Wearing closed-toed dress shoes is important. No flip-flops, Crocs, or sneakers.
It's just like Change to Independence Altogether said. Way to go, guys. Looking nice is important for your interview, and you may also want to show some personality, maybe by wearing a favorite tie or a favorite scarf or a favorite pin or piece of jewelry. Try on your outfit a few days before, making sure that it fits and it's comfortable, even when sitting down. Check for tears or stains. Fix any missing buttons and iron the outfit if it's wrinkled, or ask somebody to help you iron. Nathan, if you have opinions on your outfit, who could you ask?
I could probably ask my mom.
Okay.
Or somebody who works at Walmart.
Okay. All right. Yeah, asking family, friends, or staff. Oh, we've got a response here. All right, from Livingston County Advocates in Action. They want to share what business casual means to them.
We would wear a polo shirt, button-up shirt. If you're a lady, you could wear a dress.
Awesome. Thank you, Livingston County Advocates in Action in Pontiac. That's a great example of business casual. A polo shirt, a button-up shirt, or if you're a lady, perhaps wearing a dress. Awesome. Here we go. It's the big day. We're getting ready for it. So make sure that oh my goodness, make sure that interview outfit you spent time putting together is looking fly. Take a shower or bath and make sure you look nice and clean. Be sure to use deodorant and go easy on the cologne, perfume, or body spray. You may love to spray yourself all over with Axe body spray, but the person who's interviewing you may not love it like you do. Hey, Nathan.
Yes.
Let's show everyone some pictures of people who may or may not be ready for their interview. What do you say?
All righty then. Would you hire this man?
I would not hire this man.
Mm-mm.
Why would you not hire this man, Nathan?
Because his hair is all spiked up. He is wearing the wrong shirt. He's got his hands in his pocket.
Yeah, you know, he looks pretty casual, but not business casual.
No.
Now, he may be interviewing for a job at a clothing store, and once hired, he may have to dress like this. But this is not the way to dress for an interview. So it's not business casual. I don't see a polo shirt or a button-down shirt or nice pants. And yeah, his hair is kind of mussed up. So I think I'd pass him by.
Would you hire this man?
No, not a chance. I'm not sure what kind of job he could do, but I see his boxers and his pants aren't pulled up, and yeah, that's 2 thumbs down. I'm going to have to give him a pass. Not hiring him. That is not business casual.
Would you hire this man?
I would hire this man. He's got a nice smile. His hair looks tidy. He's got a button-down shirt. It looks like he has some casual pants on. I'd give him 2 thumbs up. Well, you know, if his resume checked out and everything.
Kind of like Sissel and Ebert.
Sissel and Ebert. There you go. So, Nathan, would you hire this woman?
Absolutely not.
Why not?
Because her stomach's showing and she's no.
That's pretty casual. I'm not sure that's business casual.
Right.
And again, this might be the kind of clothes that someone may want you to wear once you're hired for a job, perhaps at a specific clothing store. But in order to go to an interview, this is not the outfit to wear. Not at all. Nathan, how about this woman? Would you hire her?
Absolutely.
Tell me why.
Because she has a smile.
Yeah.
She has a beautiful scarf.
Oh, showing that personality.
Yeah.
Yeah, she looks business casual. Her hair looks nice. Now, if her resume checked out, I think she'd be 2 thumbs up. So what do we hear? Oh my goodness. From CTF Advocacy Center in Charleston, Illinois. What did they say about the blonde-haired woman?
Blonde-haired looks like Hoochie Mama.
Oh my goodness. They said the blonde-haired woman looked like a Hoochie Mama. All right. So we are not hiring Hoochie Mamas. No, we are hiring professional people. That's the kind of jobs we want. We want professional jobs. We want people to take us seriously because we know we can do the work. All right, so we've prepared. We've gotten our resume done, right? We have our interview outfit. We have practiced those standard interview questions. Let's see what comes next.
The interview. You've gotten your resume. You practice your answers to the interview questions. You have your interview outfit all ready to go. What's next? The interview.
Dun, dun,
Dun. It's the big day, the day of the interview. Remember to eat a good meal so you don't get lightheaded and your stomach doesn't start rumbling during the interview. Arrive 10 to 15 minutes before the interview time. Take that time to make sure your hair is combed and you are ready to go. You will also want to turn off your phone. Even though you may be nervous, smile and greet the person doing the interview with a firm handshake. and eye contact. How about we practice? Turn to the person next to you and give them a firm handshake and look them in the eyes.
All right, so everybody find somebody to give a firm handshake to and look them in the eyes and say, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. I hope everybody's doing that.
Awesome. While you are in the interview, sit up as straight as you can and communicate clearly so you can be understood.
During the interview, you may be asked if you have any questions. So here's a couple of questions that you might ask. What kind of training will I get? Are there opportunities for advancement? When will you make a decision on filling the position? Don't be afraid to ask questions. It shows that you have an interest in working there. Oh, wow, this is a great one during the interview. We didn't think about this, Nathan. This comes from Change to Independence Altogether in Bloomington Normal, and this is what they said.
Ooh, the group said also no gum or candy during the interview.
That's an awesome one. Thank you so much. No gum or candy during the interview. We're going to have to make sure that we include that in our presentation when we update it. Yes.
After the interview, you made it through the interview, but you're not done just yet. There's one more thing to do after the interview.
So after the interview, send a thank you note to the person who did the interview. It doesn't have to be a long letter. A note on a card is just right. A handwritten card is best, but if you think you don't have good handwriting, you can ask somebody else to help you write it, or you can type it. Be sure to mail your card the same day as your interview. Now, Nathan, I've interviewed lots of people in my 23 years, and when having to choose between two people who are both qualified for the same job, I would choose the person who took the time to send me a thank you note. And we have another question or another comment, and this comes from CTF Advocacy in Charleston. So what did they say not to do during an interview?
Don't oversell yourself during an interview.
Oh, don't oversell yourself. Yeah, nobody's perfect. You know, there's things that we can do and there's things that we can't do. So don't oversell yourself. Don't be pushy during the interview, right?
Got it.
All right.
We've come to the end of our journey together. Chrissy and I want to thank you for choosing to come to our session so that we can all learn together. Does anyone have any questions, comments, or considerations to share?
And I know that during our time together, you all have been sharing questions and comments and considerations as we talked about the resume, and we talked about the standard interview questions, and we talked about dressing for success and the interview itself. So we want to know, do you have any other questions, comments, and considerations? Because we're all here to learn together. Nathan and I are learning right along with each of you. All right, this question comes from Change to Independence Altogether in Bloomington Normal. And what's the question?
When is it okay to call after the interview to see if they made a choice?
So the question is, when is it okay to call after the interview to see if they made a choice? What do you think? What would be your recommendation, Nathan? Should you call 5 minutes after you get done with the interview?
No.
What's a good amount of time to wait?
I never even
thought about it? Well, one of the things I would ask is during the interview, when do you anticipate or when do you think you'll make a decision? And then I would wait maybe a week. About a week after the interview, you might just want to call them up and say, hey, this is Christine Beck. I was in last week for an interview and I'd like to know, have you made a decision yet? And perhaps they haven't, and you calling to inquire lets them know, hey, this person is still interested. They took the time to contact us. So I'd say if you don't hear anything, call back in a week. Maybe they have hired somebody and they'll say, thanks, but we've already filled the position. Maybe they're still doing interviews. All right, so thanks for asking that question, Change to Independence Altogether. So we have some more comments. Two of them come from CTF Advocacy Center in Charleston. So do you want to read those for us?
Sure. This was a very good learning opportunity.
Yes, it was. And this is what Judy said.
Don't be scared to ask questions.
You know what? Asking questions during the interview means that you're paying attention and that you're interested and you want to learn more. So Judy, that is a great comment and contribution. So here's one from Livingston County Advocates in Action in Pontiac, and I'm going to read this one because it says, Nathan, you did a wonderful job on your presentation.
Thank you.
And this next one is a comment from Kim at CTF Advocacy Center in Charleston. And Kim has something she'd like to share.
My birthday is tomorrow.
Oh, well, Kim, I hope you have the happiest of birthdays tomorrow. Thanks for letting us know. Here's a question from Livingston County Advocates in Action in Pontiac.
Where do you support to look for business casual clothing?
So where do you suggest to look for business casual clothing? So Nathan, if I didn't have any business casual clothing, I just participated in this awesome webinar and I don't have any business casual clothing. Where should I go?
Probably Walmart.
Walmart can be a good place. What other places?
Probably Once and Again.
Okay, I know resale shops are great places, whether it's Once and Again or Goodwill. You know, you don't have to spend a whole lot of money. Sometimes you can even find great sales at JCPenney or other department stores. So thank you for that question. Okay, so here's another question. This comes from your awesome mom.
Is it okay to inquire what was right and what was wrong with your interview, or is that inappropriate?
Well, you know what, awesome mom Vicki, I think it's okay to ask. If you call back in a week and you ask if they filled the position and you're told, yes, we've already filled the position, it's okay for you to ask, you know, is there something that you were looking for that I didn't have? Was there something in the interview that I didn't do as good as I should have? A lot of times interviewers will give you feedback. And of course, practice makes perfect. So whether you're part of an advocacy group or a job club, practicing interviews from start to finish maybe is a good thing to do. Oh, here's another question from Change to Independence Altogether in Bloomington Normal. Nathan, can you ask that question?
Besides age, what other questions can interviewer not ask?
Well, there are some questions that an interviewer can and cannot ask. One of them is age. I don't know all of them that they can't ask. That's a great research thing to look into, but I think they cannot ask if you are married or not. I don't believe they can ask if you have children or not. I also don't believe that they are legally allowed to ask what religion you are or what your religious practices are. But that is something that I don't know much about, and Nathan is shaking his head that he doesn't know much about that either. But that's a good thing to look into. And always, if you're not comfortable answering a question, you don't have to answer it. Oh, I know another one. They can't ask you about your disability, what kind of disability you have. What interviewers may say is, you'd be required to be on your feet for 4 hours. Are you able to do that? And you would say yes or no. But they can't say, you know, do you have a disability where you can't be on your feet for 4 hours? So thanks for that question, Changed Independence Altogether. Oh, this one comes from Megan Norland, and she's one of our awesome Alliance staff. When it comes to business casual, where do you find clothes? This is what Megan said.
Thrift stores.
Thrift stores. Yeah, is that the one around? Okay, so that's a local thrift store. All right, Tara Wicki is another one of our awesome Alliance staff. And what did she say? What's her contribution?
Awesome job, Nathan and Christine.
Yes, thank you. All right. Oh, here's another contribution from Livingston County Advocates in Action in Pontiac, and this is as it relates to an interview.
Also, in a job interview, you shouldn't use foul language or disrespect the boss. Make sure you remove your hat if you wear one.
Oh, those are other great, yes, great tips. So don't use foul language. Don't disrespect the boss or the person who is interviewing you. And take your hat off if you're wearing one. It's a good idea to take your hat off as you walk into the building or the interview situation. So thank you for those contributions. Oh, here's another great contribution from Change to Independence Altogether in Bloomington Normal as it relates to business casual wear.
Find business casual at stores going out of business.
Oh, that's an awesome thing. Yeah. If you have any local stores, department stores that are going out of business, maybe you can find some good sales. And I like to suggest that people have a business casual outfit that they just save and use for interviews, or if they have meetings or committees that they have to go to at work or maybe at church or in the community. You just have that special outfit that's there when you need it for those special times. And so, you know, it's always clean, it's pressed, it's ready to go, and it's your go-to outfit. Does anybody else have any questions, comments, or contributions that they would like to share? So I'm going to ask Nathan. Nathan, what's the thing that you learned the most as we've done this presentation together?
I learned that you need to dress casual, that you need to show respect to your boss and to the people who work with you. I learned a lot.
I learned a lot too. And what I learned is I still have a lot more to learn, that all of you who have participated have continued to share information that Nathan and I will incorporate. So as we do this presentation in the future, we're going to take those questions and comments and considerations and contributions and weave them in, so our presentation gets even better. Here's something from Megan Norland, who is one of the Alliance staff.
Something else to keep in mind if you ask for feedback from an interviewer, if you don't get a job It will help them remember you if the job comes up again.
Yeah, it just keeps your name in front of them. And maybe they think, you know, they didn't get the job this time, but they called, they asked, they got feedback, and hopefully you improve in those areas so that if the job comes up again, you'll get it this time. All right. Here's another great comment from Judy. She is a member of CTF Advocacy Group in Charleston, Illinois.
You got to be there for the people.
Yes. You know, that is so right in life, that we have to be there for each other. One of the things that we mentioned about the Alliance is we work together to speak in one loud voice. While having individual voices that are speaking up is awesome, we know that when we come together with our individual voices and speak in one loud voice, awesome things happen. And so, Judy, thank you for that reminder. If anybody has a question, comment, consideration, or contribution to share, you have just a couple more seconds to chime in before we finish with our woohoo. I've got a job interview, now what? While you are thinking of any additional information to share with us, I will let you know that the Alliance has another webinar this month. It's coming up on Thursday, March 30th. That's next Thursday at 10 o'clock. It's Expect the Extraordinary. And it's an awesome self-advocate named Aubrey Westmoss. And she's in Illinois. And we are excited for her to share her journey on expecting the extraordinary with us. All right, and there's someone named Amanda who has the same last name as you do, Nathan.
My dear sweet sister-in-law, God love her.
All right, and this is what Amanda shared. Lots of good information. Great job, Nathan. You know, we have family, we have friends, we have co-workers, we have staff. A lot of people support us, and that makes the world much, much better. All right, from CTF Advocacy Center in Charleston, Illinois, this is what Judy said.
Says that she really enjoyed the webinar. Great.
Thanks, Judy. We enjoyed having you on the webinar. I will just share the contact information for the Alliance. You can see email addresses for Megan Norland, Tara Wicke, myself, Christine Beck, and Leanne Roth. Our website is selfadvocacyalliance.org, and we do have a Facebook page at Illinois Self-Advocacy Alliance. So whether you reach out to us by email, you find us on the website, or you check us out on Facebook, we are happy that each of you have joined us for today's journey. Any last words, Nathan?
Thank you all for coming to our webinar. I hope you had a great time and learned a lot of important information.
Yes. So thank you, everyone, for taking time out of your day to spend it with Nathan and I, and with the rest of everybody who has joined us for the webinar. Take care. Bye-bye.